In this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly how the $10 million Paycheck Protection Program works and how you can get your share of this immense funding program. Coming up next on Holy Schmidt.
Holy Schmidt!
Hi everyone, this is Jeff Schmidt with Deductions.tax and welcome to another video. If you're a small business owner or operator and you've been affected by the current national emergency, and let's face it, most of us have, the federal government is stepping up with $2 trillion to help you and others out. Today I'm going to cover off the most current information on the $10 million Paycheck Protection Program. I'll cover off what the federal government expects you to use it for, application requirements, where to apply, how to get the money fast, and most importantly, what elements need to occur for this to become a forgivable loan. Stick around to the end because I'm going to show you which lenders are accepting applications for the program. There aren't as many as you think because a lot of banks just weren't ready when this program was announced and they're just coming up to speed now. Also, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up so that we can help as many people as possible. YouTube uses the thumbs up as its algorithm, and the more thumbs up a video gets, the higher it goes up in the rankings and the more people we can help. Now let's get right to it. The Paycheck Protection Program is part of the federal government's $2 trillion stimulus package. For small business, there are 5 different elements that total $377 billion. The first is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Grant. If you qualify, this is a $10,000 payment, it's a grant, and does not have to be repaid. The second is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, up to $2 million. And that's for current emergency related costs. The third is the granddaddy of them all. It's the Paycheck Protection Program. There are quite a few restrictions on this program, but they're all manageable if you're using the funds for what they're designed to be used for. The fourth small business element is the tax deadline was deferred to July 15th without interest or penalty. Number 5 is delayed payment of the employer portion of the 2020 payroll tax, delayed into 2021 and 2022 respectively. This is more powerful than it appears at first blush because the employer portion of the 2020 payroll tax will run between 7 and 8% of your total payroll. So being able to defer that into 21 and 22 is very meaningful in a year as bad as this one. And of course, there is the huge package for individuals. It's not a business element, that's why it's number 6, but the huge package is in the form of helicopter money. Basically, the government's sending many, in fact, most people in this country, a check to use however they so choose. It's a lot like a helicopter just dropping money in front of you. You pick it up and you use it wherever you need it. And this comes in the form of direct payments of $603.7 billion, and that's going to be out over the next couple of weeks. That element is covered on other videos here on Holy Schmidt. Now I'm going to give you an overview of the Paycheck Protection Program, and then we'll get into more detail after the overview. The Paycheck Protection Program was put in place to incentivize employers to maintain payroll during this crisis. The SBA is providing 100% federally backed loans for certain payroll expenses through June 30th, with up to 8 weeks of forgiveness for small business, certain nonprofits, and self-employed individuals if you comply with the rules. This is up to a maximum of $10 million per business. You can see why this is so powerful. Which businesses qualify to apply? Any small business with less than 500 employees. This includes sole proprietorships, independent contractors, and self-employed persons, as well as private nonprofit organizations and many veterans organizations as well. But the requirement is the business must be affected by the current national emergency/quarantine, which frankly is most businesses. The next point we're going to talk about is measurement periods. The PPP will provide 2.5 times your normal payroll, and normal is defined as the average over a certain period of time. And there are 3 different ways to measure this depending on what type of business you're in. For normal businesses, the period between February 15th and June 30th is the baseline, and you'll receive a maximum loan amount of 2.5 times your average monthly payroll expenses over that period of time. Some businesses are more cyclical, think seasonal landscaping for example, and their measurement period is between March 1st and June 30th. Again, you'll receive 2.5 times your average monthly payroll expenses for the shorter period of time. The third component of the Paycheck Protection Program is for businesses that are just not in business after February 15th. And you'll have a maximum loan amount that is 2.5 times your average monthly payroll expense for the 2 months of January and February. A good example of this would be a restaurant that was told it must close down. What's covered under the Paycheck Protection Program? Compensation, salary, wages, commissions, or similar compensation, including cash tips that have been declared. Payment for vacation, family, medical, and sick leave. Allowance for payment to employees for dismissal or separation. Payment for group health care benefits, including insurance premiums. Payment of employee retirement benefits. Payment of state and local taxes imposed on the compensation of employees. Payment for business, mortgage, rent, and utilities. Now here's specifically what's not covered under the Payment Protection Program. Any compensation for employees who make over $100,000. Payroll taxes, railroad taxes and retirement benefits, income taxes withheld on wages, compensation of employees whose principal place of residence is outside of the United States, qualified sick and family leave captured under other sections of the Family First Coronavirus Response Act, amounts already claimed by the applicant on another SBA loan program. Now this is really important. For the Paycheck Protection Program loan to be forgivable, 3 conditions must be met. First, it has to be used for specific spending, payroll costs, costs related to the continuation of group health care benefits during periods of paid sick, medical, or family leave, and insurance premiums. Employees' salaries, commissions, or similar compensation. Payment of interest on any mortgage obligations, not including prepaid fees or payment of principal on the mortgage itself. Rent, including rents under a lease agreement, utilities, and/or interest on any other debt obligations that were incurred before the relevant covered period. What does that mean in English? And/or interest on any other debt that was incurred before the crisis occurred. The second condition for the PPP to be forgivable is that it has to occur during a specific time frame. The loans have to be used to offset no more than 8 weeks of payroll. This is the maximum amount of time payroll expenses would be fully offset. And number 3, the business must retain employees at the same salary levels that they had before the crisis. Here are the Paycheck Protection Program repayment options if you don't qualify for forgiveness. If the amounts are not used for the conditions 1, 2, and 3 above, they are considered loans. Repayment is over a maximum period of 10 years, and the repayment interest rate is a maximum of 4%. Now here's how to apply for the Payment Protection Program. Friday, April 3rd is the first day businesses can start applying for the loan. However, you must apply before June 30th, and there is a limited amount of funds, so do not wait. Like most federal loan programs, the federal government guarantees the loans through the SBA, but they're administered through private banks. So you must apply through one of the approved banks for the loan. Some of these banks require you to have an existing banking relationship. They do this to expedite the Know Your Customer requirements. After all, they are giving you $10 million. Others will accept new applications, but it takes longer to get approved. Now, where do you apply? Which banks are accepting applications? I would start with your current bank to see if they have the PPP available. But if not, national banks like Bank of America and Chase are both accepting online applications. Regional banks like Ameris, Celtic, Citizens, First Bank, First Commonwealth Bank, First Home Bank, First United Bank, Fulton Bank, Hanby Bank, and Independent Bank are also accepting applications. Credit unions like American First Credit Union, Fountainhead, SBF, Ready Capital, Live Oak Bank, Midwest Bank Center, PPAC, Gladstone Bank, Pinnacle Bank, Sunflower Bank, Umpqua Bank, Univest Bank and Trust, US Bank, and West Town and Bank and Trust. Now, many of these will only accept an application if you bank with them, again, because of the Know Your Customer rules around giving out such large sums of money. But if you look at the list, you'll see that several of them have downloadable applications, and if they're downloadable, there's a good chance that that bank will take you through the Know Your Customer process. To get the most consolidated list of banks and their hyperlinks, go to this URL down below. So that's it. It really isn't that hard when you break it down piece by piece like that. It does take some work, but we are talking about up to $10 million. The important part is that you need to fill out the application as soon as possible because there is a limited amount of funding available. If you liked what you saw, please give the video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit subscribe below and click notifications so that you don't miss my next video when it gets released. Finally, before you go, don't forget to click this video right here to learn how to apply for the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. And also click this video right here to learn how to receive a $10,000 economic injury grant. This is Jeff Schmidt. Thanks for watching.